A drug baron has won election in Nigeria, Atiku quotes Austrian newspaper. Wow. So, what is Atiku quoting Austrian newspaper now? We know that Tinubu has a lot of drug cases, especially within the United States of America on him, which they have tried to shut people down, shut the public down. But even at that, it's quite unfortunate that nobody will ever forget that all those drug cases against him. Okay, so so Atiku is also bittered about the election that everyone lost to Tinubu because of rigging, very infamous rigging. Okay, but rigging that is not tactical, that is just so obvious that nobody wants to accept it. So now Atiku is coming out to say a drug baron has won election in Nigeria, says Atiku. Let's see what he has to say more on this claim. Atiku rejected the outcome of the election that produced Tinubu as the president-elect. The former vice president said this while addressing a world press conference on Thursday, March 2nd, 2023, where he announced his rejection of the outcome of the general election of Saturday, February 25, 2023. Atiku accused the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, of carrying out unprecedented manipulation and fraud in the process that produced Tinubu as Nigeria's president-elect. According to him, the processes and outcome of the presidential and National Assembly elections were grossly flawed and as such must be challenged by every Nigerian. He said just before he arrived at the venue of the press conference, he read an Austrian newspaper which said Africa's biggest population had just elected a drug baron as president. Wow. Can you imagine? An Austrian newspaper. Okay? In Atiku's words, just as I was about to enter this conference hall, the chairman and I read an Austrian news report that a Nigerian drug baron has emerged as the president of Africa's most population. Can you imagine? Most populated country. I want to believe that this is not the legacy that President Muhammadu Buhari has promised. For President Buhari, it is not too late to make amends for the good of our country and the future generation, and indeed to assure his legacy. Earlier in the day, a screenshot of the said newspaper had trended online in which Tinubu was said to have reportedly been linked to drugs but has never been convicted. Published in German, the official language of Austria, okay, and loosely translated to English, the news item read, Bola Ahmed Tinubu wins ballot in Nigeria. A troubled election in Africa's largest economy has resulted in a powerful and very wealthy politician as the future president. The government candidate, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has won 36% of the votes as announced by the Electoral Authority on Wednesday morning. He has been repeatedly linked to drugs and corruption, but has never been convicted. Wow. Can you imagine what the way the international community is beginning to see Nigeria now, just because of Tinubu? Okay, a drug baron has rigged his way into power. They didn't win the election. It was obvious. Even themselves know that they didn't win the election because they couldn't even celebrate. They couldn't even call for party. They couldn't even nothing. Okay, the only people jubilating are the Agberos in Lagos in their motor parks, saying that their boss, Emusi Olomo, has made it to the top. That's just the only thing that happened. But let the APC come out and celebrate their victory. They can't. They have not been able to do that because they know they didn't win. And they know because the judiciary system in Nigeria is flawed, that's why they're saying everybody should go to court. So that when they go to court, they own the chief judge, they own everybody, they own the chief judge of the Federation of Nigeria, the Chief Justice of Federation, CJN. They own everybody. They own all the court. That is why they are saying, go to court. We will meet you in the court. Which court? Okay. Now, it's quite unfortunate that this has just been exposed, the way Nigeria is being perceived abroad, even before swearing-in ceremony, that the president-elect has been a drug baron, but was never convicted. And he has succeeded in becoming the Nigerian future president-elect. Now, wow. This is terrible to see in the international community. And Atiku saw it, everybody saw it, and it trended, and that is why Atiku is saying he's challenging the mandate. He's saying all Nigerians should challenge the result, because what INEC did was gross violation of the electoral process. Gross violation of the electoral process. It was flawed. It's not genuine. Okay, we must retrieve that mandate. And the same way Labour Party is saying they will retrieve the mandate is the same way PDP is saying they will retrieve the mandate. And they're trying to form an alliance to get that done. I don't know how that alliance will work. Okay. So I've got a few comments here. Let's see what people are saying about this report. Someone saying, I have said repeatedly that Nigeria is in for the greatest humiliation and scorn, disdain, reproach, mockery, ridicule, blasphemy, and blasphemy of the whole world ever. Yes, this is what a Nizam's INEC chairman Mahmoud Yakubu and Buhari wants for Nigeria, but it won't ever stand. What a shame, but it is just the beginning. All right? Someone says, which paper? Paper written by God or human being. Can you imagine? Thank you, Atiku, for everything, a drug dealer. Okay? Now you are thanking him. I know you could call him another name if he was declared winner against your candidate. No, is Atiku a thief too? OBJ said he is. Can you imagine? Mockery of the highest level. Why must the Germans put him as king of drug cartel and corruption? But because they know him, they have his record. The intelligence record all over the world. Exactly his name. Okay, that's what somebody's saying. So unless the announcement is reversed, America will still bring the drug case out so as to humiliate Nigeria. The case was closed in Tinubu's absence and his huge money was seized from his account. But now that he has become a public figure, this matter will resurface again. Okay, we resurrect. Let's watch and see. Benny, you will be the lawyer to America. So America has congratulated Tinubu. See, all your hatred will never stop him. Can you imagine? That is what somebody is saying there. Okay? Do not rely on talking alone. Try to block all avenue of rigging at all Ido village. Can you imagine? The worst of all self. See his picture, then choose. I even ask his wife, is there no other pictures where your husband come out fine? So the fact here is that the international community, especially from the Europe, the way they perceive Nigeria is the way the Austrian newspaper has published it, that a drug baron has become president of Nigeria. Okay? So it is not Atiku that called him drug baron, but the newspaper. And the newspaper is a Europe newspaper from Austria. So that is the situation we are in Nigeria. We are in for a long haul, having somebody who is not credible becoming a president of Nigeria. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment.